नमो भगवते राम कृष्णाय। ओम नमो भगवते राम कृष्णाय।
ओम नमो भगवते शारदा देवी। ओम नमो भगवते शारदा देवी।
ओम नमो भगवते शारदा देवी। ओम नमो भगवते शारदा देवी। ओम नमो भगवते शारदा देवी। ओम नमो भगवते शारदा देवी।
ओम नमो भगवते राम कृष्णाय। ओम नमो भगवते शारदा देवी।
ओम नमो भगवते राम कृष्णाय।
page 131.
प्रभु जी दो मने दर्शन तमारो भिखारी छो
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 दयाला हो तमारो भिखारी छो
दयाला हो तमारो भिखारी छो
प्रभु जी दो मने दर्शन तमारो भिखारी छो
प्रभु जी दो मने दर्शन तमारो भिखारी छो
हजारों नाम नामी पधारो सत्यना स्वामी
हजारों नाम नामी पधारो सत्यना स्वामी
તમારી છે ભગત ખામી તમારો ભિખારી છો
તમારી છે ભગત ખામી તમારો ભિખારી છો
પ્રભુજી દો મને દર્શન તમારો ભિખારી છો
પ્રભુ जी दो मने दर्शन तमारो भिखारी छो
मुसीबत नो दिवस भारी प्रभुजी लेजो खबर हमारी
मुसीबत नो दिवस भारी प्रभु जी लेजो खबर हमारी
नैया मारी करजो पार प्रभुजी हो भिखारी छो
नैया मारी करजो पार प्रभु जी हो भिखारी छो
प्रभुजी दो मने दर्शन तमारो भिखारी छो
प्रभु जी दो मने दर्शन तमारो भिखारी छो
गई जाशे मने जारे ए जमड़ा सो प्रभु त्यारे
ચડજો મારી વહારે પ્રભુજી હો ભિખારી છું
પ્રભુજી દો મને દર્શન તમારો ભિખારી છું
પ્રભુજી દો મને દર્શન તમારો હું ભિખારી છું
તમારો ભિખારી છું
તમારો હું ભિખારી છું
તમારો ભિખારી છું
ઓમ શ્રી રામ કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય પવન સુત હનુમાન કી જય શ્રી અંબે અંબે માત કી જય.
Om, page 68. रघुपति राघव राजा राम अभयम अलिगुण सीताराम
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 सीताराम सीताराम उल्लम कवरंदा सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम उल्लम कवरंदा सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम उल्लम कवरंदा सीताराम
सीताराम
எங்கம் நிறைந்தார் நீயராம்
எங்கும் நிறைந்தார் நீயராம்.
நீயராம் 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 நீயராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம 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 ராம.
ஸ்ரீ ராம 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 ராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம 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 ராம.
ஸ்ரீ ராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம
ஸ்ரீ ராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம.
ஜலத்திலும் ராம் நிலத்திலும் ராம்
ஜலதிலும் ராம் நிலதிலும் ராம்.
ஜலத்திலும் ராம் நிலத்திலும் ராம்
ஜலதிலும் ராம் நிலதிலும் ராம்.
உலகத்தில் வியாபிக்கும் நீயராம்
உலகத்தில் வியாபிக்கும் நீயராம்.
நீயராம் 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 நீயராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம 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 ராம.
ஸ்ரீ ராம 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 ராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம 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 ராம.
ஸ்ரீ ராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம
ஸ்ரீ ராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம
ஸ்ரீ ராம்
ஸ்ரீ ராம.
ஸ்ரீ ராம 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 ராம்
ஓம் ஸ்ரீ ராம கிருஷ்ண भगवान की जय. पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय.
On page 27. Page 27. যেখানে মায়ের নাম সেখানে আনন্দ রাম
যেখানে মায়ের নাম সেখানে আনন্দ ধাম.
আনন্দম শুধু আনন্দম
আনন্দম শুধু আনন্দম.
যেখানে মায়ের গীতি সেখানে প্রেমের প্রীতি
যেখানে মায়ের গীতি সেখানে প্রেমে প্রীতি.
আনন্দম শুধু আনন্দম
আনন্দম শুধু আনন্দম.
যেখানে মায়ের খাতা সেখানে নেবো ভেদা
যেখানে মায়ের কথা সেখানে নেব বেদা.
আনন্দম শুধু আনন্দম
আনন্দম भजो ने मायेर नाम जपो ने मायेर नाम
आनन्दं शुद्धो आनन्दम्
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 आनन्दं शुद्धो
आनन्दं शुद्धो आनन्दम्
आनन्दम् आनन्दं शुद्धो आनन्दम्
आनन्दं शुद्धो
आनन्दम् ॐ श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय
where God's name is sung, where God is remembered, and of course this talks about mother, but any name of God in Satsang, all you have is Anand, is joy, bliss and happiness. Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers and loving children. We are very, very happy to see you this morning, this beautiful, bright morning. We welcome you, and little children can please go to their classes today, and some people say tomorrow, tomorrow is Sri Adi Shankaracharya Jayanti, and talking about that, we encourage everyone to read the Deepika articles that are posted every Mondays, a page only, so you can read stories to the children every Monday. Of course, it's on Facebook, and we have the ashram group link. If you don't have Facebook and you want to be included in that link, you can please give your names to Abinta Didi. And we have Deepika every Mondays, and every day we have inspiring sayings on the scriptures or the Holy Trinity. Today our speaker is Mr. Kailash Maharaj, who will speak about Sri Adi Shankaracharya.
Om. At dawn, I meditate in my heart on the truth of the radiant inner self. This true self is pure being, awareness and joy, and the transcendent goal of the great sages. The eternal witness of the waking, dream, and deep sleep states. I am more than my body, mind, and emotions. I am that undivided spirit. Revered Pravrajka Ishtaprana Mataji, sisters and brothers, Om Namo Narayanaya. Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Ancient India was once sunken into a quagmire of superstitions and scriptural misinterpretations. Degraded ritualism flourished. The essence of Sanatana Dharma and its self-embracing message of compassion and the universality of humanity was lost in the blind performance of rituals. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna declares, Whenever there is a decay of righteousness, O Bharata, and there is an exaltation of unrighteousness, then I myself come forth, for the protection of the good, for the destruction of evildoers, for the sake of firmly establishing righteousness, I am born from age to age. In the 8th century, in current-day Kerala, India, a devout Brahmin couple, Shivaguru and Aryamba, offered many prayers to Lord Shiva in the hope of a child. Their prayers were answered. Aryamba gave birth to a boy, and they named him Shankara, the giver of prosperity. The advent of Sri Shankaracharya offers credence to Sri Krishna's declaration. When Shankara was just 7 years old, Shiva Guru passed away. Aryamba assumed the duty of educating the young Shankara and played a crucial role in teaching the young boy the Vedas and the Upanishads. From his childhood, he was keen on becoming a monk, but Aryamba did not support this. One day, Shankara accompanied Aryamba to a nearby river. The boy decided to immerse himself in the river. A crocodile suddenly appeared and took hold of the boy. With his legs trapped in the mouth of the crocodile, Shankara cried out to his mother, informing her that the crocodile was pulling him into the river. The dire situation was undeniable. He pleaded to Aryamba to permit him to take on the vows of sannyas before it was too late. Fearing for her son's life and not wanting him to die without his deepest desires fulfilled, Aryamba relented and granted her permission. As soon as Shankara received the blessings of his mother, the crocodile let go of his leg and disappeared into the depths of the river. Shankara was miraculously unharmed, and with the blessings of his mother, set off on his path to achieve sannyas. At the tender age of 8, burning with the desire for liberation, he left home in search of a guru. From the southern state of Kerala, the young Shankara walked about 2,000 kilometers to the banks of the river Narmada in the central plains of India to his guru Govindapada. He stayed there, serving his guru for 4 years. Under his teachings, compassionate guidance, the young Shankaracharya mastered all the Vedic scriptures. At the age of 12, his guru deemed that Shankara was ready to write commentaries on the major scriptural texts. At his guru's command, Shankara wrote commentaries on the subtle meanings hidden in the teachings of the scriptures like the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. At the age of 16, he dropped his pen, having completed writing all the major treatises. Having developed an in-depth understanding of Hindu scriptures, he traveled across India propagating Advaita Vedanta and Darshanami Sampradaya. During his journey, many philosophers and thinkers challenged Shankara's teachings. He was involved in several debates about Hinduism and its beliefs, but Shankara managed to astound his doubters with his intelligence and clarity. Shankaracharya challenged various eminent scholars and leading different religious sects in vigorous disputes. They championed their interpretations of the scriptures, but the prodigious boy, sage, could easily overcome all of them and make them understand his teaching's wisdom. Many of these men of stature then accepted Shankaracharya as their guru. They started to practice by following his guidance, and this change in their lives also created a change in the lives of their innumerable followers who came from all strata of society. Shankara maintained that the only truth that matters is the recognition and experience of Brahman, which ultimately cannot be reached through reason and argument, but only through direct recognition that emerges as a result of consistent devotional spiritual practice and a total sense of detachment and dispassion towards this illusory world. Many divine occurrences took place in Shankara's life and in the lives of those who were devoted to him. Some examples include the story of the disciple who crossed the river to fetch Shankaracharya's clothes. When the disciple Sanandana began crossing the mighty Ganges, holding his master's clothes close to his chest, many lotuses emerged from the river and supported Sanandana's weight, saving him from drowning. After crossing the river, Sanandana handed the clothes over to Shankaracharya, who bestowed upon him the name Padmapada, which means the one with lotus feet. Another incident occurred when he was a little boy. As a young brahmachari, the young Shankara went from house to house to beg for his daily food. The hostess of one house was a kind but impoverished lady. All she could give him was a small gooseberry fruit. The sincerity of this pure lady deeply touched Shankara, and he invoked Goddess Lakshmi by singing the Kanakadhara Stotra spontaneously. The legend has it that the goddess showered golden gooseberry fruits into the house. Later, at Kashi, Shankaracharya had a strange experience. When he was going to have his bath at the Ganges River, an outcast came from the opposite direction with 4 dogs and obstructed his way. Shankara ordered him out of his path. To his surprise, the outcast retorted, "O Venerable Guru, you are a preacher of Advaita Vedanta, yet you make a difference between man and man. How can this be consistent with the teaching of Advaitism? Is Advaita only a theory?" Shankara soon realized that the outcast was none other than Lord Shiva, who had taken this form to teach him a lesson. So he immediately fell prostrate at the Lord's feet and composed the shlokas called the Manisha Panchaka. Every shloka ends thus: "He who learned to look on the phenomenon in the light of Advaita is my true Guru, be he the keeper of a crematorium or be he a Brahmin." Adi Shankaracharya's philosophy was simple and straightforward. He advocated the existence of the Atman, or the soul, and Brahman, the supreme soul. He is credited with making Hindus understand the existence of one supreme being, or Brahman. He explained that all other deities are just different forms of the supreme being. He taught that everything exists: the sun, the earth, plants, animals, humans. All of these are expressions of that one consciousness, the divine, in varying degrees and in various forms. Shankaracharya united a fragmented land with philosophy, poetry, and pilgrimage, and founded 4 monasteries that have greatly influenced the historical development, revival, and propagation of Advaita Vedanta. Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the great teacher, beautifully captured the essence of Advaita Vedanta in 6 verses that we know as the Nirvana Shatakam, the 6 verses of Nirvana. It is believed that Sri Adi Shankaracharya himself recited these stotras on his way to achieve moksha. Verse 1 of the stotra states, "I am not mind, nor intellect, nor ego, nor the reflections of inner self. I am not the 5 senses. I am beyond that. I am not the ether, nor the earth, nor the fire, nor the wind, none of the 5 elements. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am the form of supreme consciousness and bliss. I am the eternal Shiva." May Sri Adi Shankaracharya's life and teachings be an inspiration to us all. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Mr. Maharaj. We also should know that all the Sarada Ramakrishna order, we follow the teachings of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, and it's good to know what is the meaning of Advaita Vedanta. Vedanta is, well, Veda is knowledge, Anta is end, so Vedanta, the end of all knowledge, this sort of supreme knowledge is found in all our Upanishads. The end of the Vedas, called the Upanishads, give us this knowledge about the oneness of God. So Advaita means not two, Dvaita is two, Advaita, not two, means only one. Advaita Vedanta indicates that Brahman that is God, the supreme form of God. God, when we say God, we think of some form of God in our heart, in our mind, but Brahman is the Supreme Lord without a name, without a form. It's the ultimate power that exists, which is, they even say, unthinkable, unimaginable, and God knows that the human mind is limited. So out of his infinite compassion, God creates, brings himself down to all these names and forms. Every name of God and Goddess is the aspect of one supreme consciousness, which we call Brahman. So Advaita Vedanta indicates that when we see that one underlying unity in the entire universe, as we heard now, whether it is rich, the poor, the intellectual, or the ignorant, the animals, in the whole of creation, plants, trees, forests, ocean, all of that, in throughout all of that is this one supreme consciousness known as Brahman. So Advaita Vedanta, we believe that that is the supreme reality. And how is that connected to us? The Atman in each and every one of us is a spark of that divine power, a spark of that divinity, that supreme consciousness. So during meditation, during sadhana, therefore, it is so important for us to practice a little bit of sadhana every day. We must sit quietly for a few moments and think about this supreme being. And because it's not so easy to think about that which does not have a form, we can choose any form of God, because it is like the different rays of the sun. It's the same sun, but we can only see a part of it. So through sincerity, through dedication, through leading a moral life, a righteous life, and by praying to God for that revelation. Oh Lord, we know you are seated in our heart, but we cannot see you, we cannot understand you, we cannot know that you are there. Please reveal yourself to us. And therefore we know when Master cried in the Kali temple, the Divine Mother revealed herself not as Mother Kali standing there with a lolling tongue and a garland of skulls and with a sword in her hand, but Mother herself revealed herself to the Master in the form of this consciousness. As Master said, in whichever direction I looked, and as far as the eyes could see, you must imagine, in whichever direction, wherever the head turns, and as far as the eyes could see, I saw this supreme light, this consciousness, that is Brahman. So, therefore, again, I'm saying it is important for us to do our sadhana. Then the cloud of ignorance that veils this knowledge is removed through the grace of God. No matter how much effort we put in, ultimately we must know that it is through God's grace that we know what we know, and whatever we know is just a drop in the ocean. So we pray to that supreme power through the grace of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, through the grace of our gurus, our master, to help us in this path of spirituality, so that we may not suffer, we may not experience pain, and even if we do, O Lord, give us the strength to overcome it. The world is, today we can say, full of pain and misery. Every way we look around is this suffering. So when we have this knowledge that we are not that, we are not what the senses perceive, we are that which is far beyond the senses, then a ray of hope, a ray of strength comes into us, and we feel, well, Lord, if you have put this in front of me, then you alone will give me the strength to overcome it and to go further, to progress in my spiritual journey. So may the Lord bless us. And Sri Adi Shankaracharya wrote many beautiful hymns, very Many of them, we have more than 4 or 5 in our prayer books. So today we'll all chant the Ganga Stotram, which is on page 200. Beautiful hymns. It's also good for us as part of our sadhana to read the meanings of some of these, which help us to think about that supreme consciousness. Page 200, Ganga Stotram by Shri Adi Shankaracharya.
देवी सुरेश्वरी भगवती गंगे त्रिभुवन तारिणी तरला तरंगे शंकर मौली विहारिणी विमले भगवती
Jana
चित्तफलदं विमलं सारं शङ्करसेवका शङ्कररक्षिता पठति सुक्रिस्तव इति चास्मात्। ॐ श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। पवनसुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
श्री आदि शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय. Let us meditate for a few moments. It is also so amazing and beautiful to know that although Sri Shankaracharya believed in the absolute Brahman, the absolute consciousness, so many beautiful hymns were revealed to him, and he was able to write beautiful hymns on so many aspects of God, so many names and forms of God, to inspire us and encourage us that there is nothing wrong with meditating on any form of God. Let us pray and meditate in our hearts. Feel the presence of the Divine Being in the form of your chosen ideal, your Ishta Devata. O Mother Ganga, banish all our illnesses. O Bhagavati, take away my troubles, my sins and my grief, and utterly crush my wanton cravings. O Goddess, supreme in all the worlds, O you who are Mother Earth's most precious necklace, you are my refuge in this world. O Mother, you who are the auspicious ruler of creation, daughter of a sage and mother benign, flowing deity, veritable goddess, he who repeats this hymn to Mother Ganga will surely succeed in everything. Our master Sri Ramakrishna used to call Mother Ganga the flowing Brahman. So it's beautiful descriptions on the Divine Mother. Let us feel her blessings and her grace.
पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय
महाराज की जय, महामाई की जय, स्वामी जी महाराज की जय, गंगा मात की जय, महावीर स्वामी जी की जय, सर्व ऋषि मुनियों की जय, पार्वती पतये